I'm sorry, but if you're rejecting someone's affection, your spouse, I don't see how that's gonna help your relationship. You're sitting there just constantly nagging at your husband about what you didn't get, even though you have this apple in your hand, but you really want her orange. There's stretch marks, and there's weight gain, and there's like stagnant in the marriage, or there's fights, or there's money problems, or whatever it is. He still had this romance going with each of them.
The day has arrived, you guys. The day is here. It is Friday, April 7th, 2023. And finally, somebody in the Brown family is acknowledging Sobbyn Brown's fake tears. The crying without any tears, the Sobbyn Robyn that she has always done on the show, because Gwendlyn Brown watched the tell-all. And she is watching it for the very first time. The Brown kids did not watch the show because obviously it's too close to home and the show has become so much about drama and less about their family. But apparently during this, like on her Patreon, she's already uploaded the episode of her recapping and like following along to this to the first part of the tell-all. And she has literally like put a pin in one of the lies that Kody told on that tell-all, which makes me feel like vindicated. I told you that this literally never happened. And on top of it, what did she say? She said that Robyn doesn't have any tears when she cries. I'm feeling so like, oh my gosh, it's finally here. Somebody is seeing what we've been seeing for years. So Gwendolyn Brown's latest reaction to the tell-all is this video's topic. Let's dive into it. Before we do, can you do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up? Also, please subscribe to the channel if you've not yet subscribed. Turn the notification bell on by clicking on the bell if you want to be notified anytime I go live or new content loads. Make sure to leave a comment if you have something to say. Share the video with your friends, and let's get going. So, you know, one of the biggest things that we talk about on this channel is Robyn's fake tears. And someone in my last comment said, in my last video, literally, because we just talked about another thing to do with Robyn and Kody, and I said, they said, when are you going to stop talking about Robyn and Kody and their narcissism and their relationship? And I'm going to be like, well, once there's nothing to talk about, as far as I know, you know, this is still something y'all are interested in, and Gwendolyn Brown keeps on talking, and as we're starting to like get the mask pulled off from behind the scenes from the kids, I feel like the whole world is opening up. But yes, I promise next week there will be different topics covered on this channel. I swear to my cat. I swear to my cat. My two cats that are literally sitting right next to me that y'all can't see. I swear that this is not going to be the last. We will move on to other topics. But Gwendolyn Brown literally calls Robyn out for her fake crying. I can't stand it. This is amazing. This is the best thing ever. Okay, so she's obviously doing this whole rundown of all the different episodes. And I'm assuming this is going to get uploaded to her YouTube account probably today or tomorrow. But she did this on her Patreon. And this is apparently her reacting to part 2. So the last video that she uploaded on her YouTube was her watching, I think, the season finale. And this is her reacting to the part 2 of the tell-all. And apparently Robyn is crying about how Christine's divorce ruined the family dynamic, and that Kody then chose to leave Meri, and then Janelle chose to separate from Kody. And, you know, Robyn thinks that the sister wives have stolen her experience of, you know, the old lady ranch, the grandma ranch is what she calls it, that she says was promised when she married Kody. And Gwendolyn asked why the camera zoomed so far into Robyn's face as she mustered up tears. And this is what they say she says. What is zooming in? What is it zooming in on? Was it just me, or were there like no tears? And then as Robyn continues to fake cry, Gwendolyn says, oh my God, that must suck. Crying and no tears are coming out. Oh my God, she said it, crying and no tears are coming out. And then she said Gwendolyn felt bad about not paying attention to what Robyn was saying and focusing on the lack of tears. And she said, that's all I'm thinking about. That's very low of me. But here's the thing. This is something that Robyn has done on camera for years, where she literally will like look like she's going to start crying and then nothing comes out. Now, McKelty had an explanation for this and claims that Robyn doesn't like to mess up her makeup. And so she does whatever she can to try to like not cry on camera, which I think is to a point. But I also think some of her tears and some of her fake crying is manipulation. You know how sometimes when people get caught in a lie or they get caught doing something bad, they immediately resort to crying because it's like they feel like it's their way of getting out of things, or it's their way of being framed as a victim. Robyn on her Instagram or on her Pinterest, she really does think like she's an empath. And I always feel like when people say that they're an empath a lot, they're really not an empath. I feel like when people tell you all the time, like, I am an empath and I am an INFJ and I am a really sensitive person and I am this and I am that, it's like, if you have to tell people that you're all these things constantly and they don't just see it naturally, sometimes it can come off a little bit manipulative. Now, that doesn't mean that she might not be empathetic, but I've never seen her actually express a level of empathy to anyone's position in the family other than herself. She never considers the fact of like the hell that the lives of the wives that have gone on. And in the tell-all was literally like, that's their problem. That's them acting stupid. No empathy. An empath would certainly not do that. In the episode, Kody talked about how Robyn was victimized by the other wives and the family members since the beginning. Gwendolyn actually set the record straight, and she said that it's always her father that she has a problem with and not Robyn. So as far as the issues between the kids and Robyn, she said, when I'm talking with my siblings, we are complaining like it's screw dad. It's never like screw Robyn. If we say anything rude about her, it's the amount of crying that she does, and that's it. You know, Robyn cries a lot, and so she's saying like, we don't really care about Robyn. Although I do think they probably do care about Robyn, but I do think that at the end of the day, a lot of these kids can see the fact that the true person here, that's their father, the person that is their biological dad, he's not being there for them. So to them, if they don't even care about Robyn and they don't care about the relationship with Robyn and they're not trying to even have this relationship with Robyn, why would they care what Robyn does? They're only going to care like how their dad treats them. I do think that they probably have some issues with Robyn, and some of the boys have expressed that they think that Robyn has manipulated the COVID rules and developed these rules for her own self, and that she made Kody feel like he had to develop these rules, whatever. I think they probably recognize that she's manipulative. I think they recognize that she's controlling, but I believe Gwendolyn when she says that her dad acting like that, them being more mad at their dad than at Robyn. But I do think it's interesting that they complain about the amount of times that she does cry. To me, if you are complaining about someone always crying and playing the victim, to me, that seems like a manipulation tactic. So if she's using her tears to try to convince fans or to try to convince anyone else in the situation that she's sad, she's fake. It seems fake. It seems like she knows she's losing, and so she's going to default to crying so that you think that you should feel sorry for her. And what's happened with fans is that they've stopped feeling sad for her, and they've labeled her Sobbyn Robyn, and they think like, why should I believe a thing that she says? Because she's always crying. There's never tears. It's never her fault. It's always somebody else's fault. And I agree. So on top of this whole issue with the crying, she also said that Kody made up the entire thing about the reconciliation with Meri. And this is something I said from the beginning, that this reconciliation literally never happened. According to Gwendolyn, she says that this whole entire thing never happened. And the only person that remembers it is apparently Kody. And she was apparently shocked that he was even doing this. So she said, Robyn remembers the supposed aftermath, and the only person who actually remembers is my dad. This is completely made up, she said. Because remember how Robyn said that Christine ran into her house and she was really crying and she was so upset. Remember how she said that, Christine ran into the house and she was crying, she was so upset, but she didn't know the whole details. I don't think that that's actually what happened. And Gwendolyn says she doesn't think it happened. So she said, oh my goodness, that story of my dad. I don't know if he made it up or like what happened. But from my mom's perspective, it never happened. From Meri's perspective, it never happened. From Robyn's perspective, all she knows about it is the aftermath, which means she didn't know anything. And Gwendolyn said, it feels completely made up to me. I get it. Maybe he had a weird dream and was like convinced that it was real. Honestly, I just think that all he was trying to do was like deflect and find a way out of the situation to blame someone besides himself and to blame Christine for somehow thwarting this so-called reconciliation between him and Robyn, or him and Meri. They obviously didn't get back together. And if he had wanted to get back together with Meri, he could have. Now, some have speculated that the reason why Kody is doing this is because he knows that some of the wives have issues with Meri, and now it's come out that Meri has been sort of abusive to some of the kids, allegedly, and because of that, that issue would have been a drawing the line in the sand of, I'm not going to let you get back together with her because my kids aren't safe around her type of thing. But honestly, like if he wanted to do anything, he could, and nothing anyone says would stop him. Now, finally, we're on to the final part of this, which is about the wedding, which I touched on really briefly in my previous episode. But she is apparently still living in Flagstaff, Gwendolyn, and she's about to get married, which is in 5 months in July, or 3 or 4 months in July. And she said, this is what Gwendolyn said, I invited them to my graduation party, talking about Kody and Robyn. But I don't know if she felt like if it was not safe space for me or they decided that they just didn't want to go. But it seems like they decided that they didn't want to see me, which hurts my feelings, obviously. But if I'm not a safe person for them, then I'm not a safe person for them. I do miss them completely so much. So we kind of talked about her response to that in a video a few weeks ago. But as far as like to the wedding, she said that she invited her Robyn, she invited her dad and all of the kids to the wedding. But she says, I don't know if they would want to come. It seems like they're kind of being, we're kind of being shunned by him. I don't think he wants anything to do with us. I don't think he wants anything to do with the rest of us. I really hope that they do come. I terribly miss my siblings. And then she said, because it's coming up in August of 2023, she really does hope to see them there, but she doesn't think that they will and that they're going to avoid coming because of the family drama. So apparently Kody and Robyn are shunning everyone because they are not, falling in line with what Kody and Robyn want them to do. And they're not going to attend. They didn't attend her engagement party, or at least Robyn didn't. I don't know if her dad was there or not, but she says that Robyn didn't go, nor did her siblings. And she can't see her siblings because they're shunning them and want nothing to do with them. And Robyn has fake tears, and Kody is lying about his reconciliation with Meri. So wrapping this all up, it'll be interesting to actually see what the whole reaction videos look like, and I'll for sure talk to you a little bit more about that once she posts them over on her YouTube channel. Also, if you haven't gone over to her YouTube channel, make sure that you check it out. Her YouTube channel is just like Gwendlyn Brown. You can also check her out on her Instagram. She sometimes posts photographs, but she doesn't really go live there that much. Although Entertainment Tonight did say this past week that she did a live on her Instagram. I went and checked on her Instagram and I didn't see anything that she saved. So if she did this live, it hasn't been saved, which I know can be done. In the live, she said that she has met David, Christine's boyfriend, that she likes him a lot. Well, she likes him. She told her mom that she would never call David her daddy. And she mentioned that Christine and David had recently been in Flagstaff, and on their way through, they were filming. She said that the only time that Christine and David, or Christine, is ever in Flagstaff is because of filming. And someone had asked her whether or not Janelle had met David. And she said that Janelle and David hadn't met yet because they just hadn't had the chance, because every time Christine was there, it was always very quick. It was always for filming. And Janelle hadn't been up to Salt Lake City, but Janelle recently was in Salt Lake City just this past week. So my hope is that maybe while she was visiting Christine in Salt Lake City, she got a chance to finally meet him. But apparently all this to do about Janelle not liking David, or she not liking this relationship with her and Christine, they hadn't even met him. So how do you have an opinion on someone if you've never even met them? You can't. So that could mean why some of this is suspicious while people don't trust him. Either way, Gwendolyn likes him. She says he's nice. Peyton doesn't like him or says his mom's moving too fast. I don't know. That's what I have for now. But the biggest part of this entire story is Rice Krispie Gates was fake and Robyn is a fake crier. Sobbyn Robyn confirmed. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.